work.
Yeah.
That's all good. I ain't gonna get in trouble. It's just kind of like I gotta wave people in and out.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, I seen that Kanye. That was my first time seeing that Kanye video.
Oh, I'm
It's
over
frustrating to
it.
Detroit because I'm a Kanye fan musically. I know you are too. I listened to that nigga yesterday, bro. I'm like, I didn't realize. I forgot all the stuff was going on. I had listened to him. I just happened to listen to Kanye because I was listening to Drake. I'm like, okay, Kanye was cold, and it was like, I'm like, damn, I shouldn't be listening to this nigga, supporting this nigga right now.
Nah, it ain't even about that, man. I'm like this because I was on a heavy, like I've been listening to a lot of Kanye,
I'm gonna mute myself.
Drake.
Okay, I'm listening.
I've been listening. Oh, I didn't hear no echo, but I've been listening to a lot of Kanye and Drake. So I've been
Okay.
I was already like respecting his musical talent. You get what I'm saying? What he brings to the table, the work he puts in. But it's when, and I've already been on that tip for a while, when it's just dangerous when we want celebrities to speak for us, especially when they're misinformed. The Lakers are terrible, Rio. They're terrible. I made some good
that's
money
real.
betting. Yeah. I made some good money betting against those guys. But my thing is,
I can't say nothing because I'm a Nets and Pistons fan. We both 1-1.
when people are misinformed and then they start saying stuff, and then we do corny stuff for thinking that they're smart or what they're saying is right because they have money, that just lets you know, like, it's just dangerous because we're easily influenced. And it's like, wow. So I watch a dude, because everyone, did you watch the whole interview? I'm like, bruh, what he's babbling. And then, like, the other thing that's annoying me is the people who care about him, like Nori. I really felt like Nori dropped the ball because the last thing he should have did was just put a camera in front of that man. But Nori wanted the views and clout. And that's what annoyed me. So
the first thing he said,
because he didn't talk about.
Kanye was here last time. Our views went through the roof. That's what he said. I watched
but he didn't talk about he loved Ye, all this. Are we doing numbers better than NFL? They're putting cameras in front of him because they're going to get clicks, but no one really cares about this platform. It's like, do we like not see that he tried to run for president too? He do all this stupid stuff, and every time y'all gonna let him keep running the same game. I have real empathy for him, and having a bipolar dude drinking, yes, that is definitely a crime. And you let him say all that stupid shit.
Right.
He's drunk, and then they come up, Rio. But because all that, you give him a platform, and now you letting him really self-destruct in front of our eyes. And I think that's just the sad part about it. He's the one that's actually going to lose, and the people that's gassing him up, they not gonna do anything when he really crashes and burns. You just gonna wait for the next car crash to happen, and that's just my final on it.
Hey, that's the truth though.
But let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck though.
Yeah, keep it real.
Almost all the platforms he's been on have been traditional platforms. He went on one outlier, which is Nuri. The rest of the platforms have been regular traditional platforms. And that's where he's going to continue to do. And that's where he's going to get most of his support from, because there's a community that'll tell an athlete or a rapper to shut up and dribble unless they talking this dribble. Then they put them right in front of the camera. That's what they've been doing.
No, that's definitely good. What I'm saying is they setting him up because he gets to say the white supremacist talking points about, abortion, Chicago, George Floyd. But then they're going to let him, pardon my language, hang himself with the Jewish comments, because they already know that's polarizing. To the point that you have Pierce Morgan looking like a moralist. You have Tucker Carlson, looking like, I couldn't air all of his comments because he's so bad. They're all winning from this.
I got something for the black. I got something for the black folks that are clinging to this Judaism. I got you. There's a thing called Beta Israel in Ethiopia where those people still observe the Torah, and they try to follow the 613 laws of the Old Testament. Y'all don't even know what the 613 laws are. So why are you so concerned about being Jewish or Hebrew or whatever? You don't even care about it. That's a biblical concept. You don't care about it. So stop talking about it. You don't even know what it is. What are you talking? You don't know anything about tracing the seed of Abraham after he left Mesopotamia and all that stuff. You don't know anything about that. You don't understand what the qualifications are or were, or the ramifications of continuing to be a slave to the law. So stop talking about it. Okay, you have
Rio, I
no
see.
idea.
Hold on, I wanted to read Rio comment. He said he didn't disrespect the Jewish community. He said the obvious. How you Jewish and getting money off black people, yet we don't get money off their culture. I'm going to just say I agree with what 50 Cent said in his response, and I'm going to agree with what Russell Simmons said. When you just make it broad like that, and you don't make your enemy specific, and you just want to brand one people, brand a group, that's dangerous to me. Like, I don't like Dame, but the one thing I would respect about Dame is he calls his targets out. He says Leor Cohen. You get what I'm saying? He will put a name on Leor. Whereas Kanye, you're going down a rabbit hole when you just say media. We don't make money off their culture. One, how about we actually start looking at how do we fix the system? How do we make money off of it? The thing is this, and I don't want to seem like I'm jumping. Don't make your money through that system, through that construct, and now you want to come and tear it down when that's how you made your wealth. It ain't like you waited till you get to so-called billion-dollar status to now you want to tear it down. Whereas it wasn't like after your first deal, you start telling people what to do. Like, I just saw an interview with Chameleonaire. He said how he got out of his deal was he used Jay-Z's lawyer to audit his record label. And he told Universal, he said, if you don't let me out, I'm going to teach every person how to audit. See, the thing is, we get in here and we play them, and we don't use our tools to go against the system. People can be independent, but they don't get that big glitz and glamour from being independent. Like Rio, you know Danny Brown. He's one of the most profitable rappers from Detroit, but a lot of people don't know him. So it's, do you want the clout and fame, or do you want the money and be successful? And the problem with Kanye is he wants his wealth to make him be seen as a white person. I don't care how much money you get, you're never going to be seen as a white person. He doesn't become black until he is shunned and reminded.
Jay-Z understand that. Puff understand that. 50 understand that. Why Kanye don't understand that?
No, he's not trying to tear the system down. He's trying to assimilate into another. He's trying to serve a different master, a different white master. Don't play with me. He's not trying to listen. If that's the case, why are you going so hard about assimilating into their community? We talking about the ultra conservative community. You're trying so very hard to assimilate into the ultra conservative community. And anybody on here who has no idea what that leads to you repeating exactly with a different face the same things that they're doing in their rhetoric, in their super ultra right-wing culture, which ultimately always wants to be actively aggressive against you. The fact that people don't, can't no man tell me he don't read and then try to teach me about history. Unless you got a time machine and you took your phone back and you record the stuff. How do you let a human tell you that? Being a genius in one particular area of society does not make you a genius overall. I know a man that know how to grow tomatoes in any kind of weather. That doesn't mean, and he's a genius at it. That doesn't mean he can tell me about political science. That makes no sense. That don't mean he can tell me about making rap beats. That makes no sense. But we take these
Right.
guys because we love their talent, and then we transpose that into everything they talk about. And then the much he can tell you, I ain't never read nothing, and you like, well, he must be getting it straight from God. I guess that don't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah, my boy, he said Elon Musk did the same stuff. He got his company funded, used government money to succeed. Now he's talking crazy about it. But see, the problem with these guys is,
I
right?
don't care about him. He ain't in my
No,
community.
no, I know that. I'm just saying my rebuttal. The thing with Elon is, though, they get to act like they're smarter than everyone. And now that's why he got to take that L with this Twitter deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because he tried to, troll, make that move, I'm gonna buy it. Then he tried to pull out of it. Now he's about to take a L because he's gonna have to sell shares of Tesla to make that deal happen. And Tesla stock is about to get hit. The problem is these guys get this money, get corrupted, make people think that they're free thinkers, make they think that they the strong, smartest guys in the room. Whereas there's a system that we're all involved. And I don't care how much money you get, if the richest controlled it, then all the rich people would just be there. But they still have people to answer to within the system. That's why one thing I did say what Kanye said was, his dad was like, they can't harm you because I'm rich. Well, now you really only have that $120 million that you're sitting on. And you got to make that stretch.
You see the other comments, Troy? It's a lot of comments now. People, they just getting lit now.
No, he said, consider this. Most of the greats we still honor in our culture stay consistent with who they are because they know who they are. They don't know who he is. My only thing is, though, how long do we get a pass, though? This guy's 46 or 5 years away from being 50. Like, how long do we just, when does he take it that he has to heal himself? See, if he's going to just go with the crowd that's going to validate him not taking meds, that's just going to go with whoever says he's right, he's never going to get fit. Unfortunately, and I hope it don't happen to him, I hope a Anthony Bourdain situation doesn't happen with Kanye. That's what I fear for. That's why I'm like, if people really cared about his mental health, they would really try to like help this guy out instead of just now he's being used. Like, one, you're using Candace Owens, you're validating her documentary, and then you're gonna buy her husband's company that he's the CEO of.
Dig. I'm gonna let me keep it. Let me be 100% clear so people understand. I'm not concerned with Kanye. I'm concerned with my regular brothers and sisters out here who are falling in line with the goofy stuff. That's who. Look, he got his own. He got billionaire problems. I don't got those problems. What I'm concerned about is somebody being influenced by this, and then they'll damage themselves at their local, regular, day-to-day life because they'll support something that'll end up destroying them at the end of the day. That's what I'm concerned with. Look, how we go get some counseling or whatever. You got the money, you got the resources. If not, it's a bunch. I used to live on Dexter and Davidson. We had a dude that walked around the neighborhood. He was crazy as hell. He didn't have no money. So that's what it is. So I'm not overly empathetic towards him and his particular situation because I know people out here dealing with the real trauma day in and day out. What I do know is he's talking this crazy stuff, right, about this stuff, and people agreeing with him. And I know that my people fought for this country since day one, and I'm talking about black people that was either here already and or was brought over here during the transatlantic slave trade, from the Civil War all the way up until now, and they've never been fully compensated or accepted for their building and protecting of this country. So when you want to talk about you ain't been denied, when I know that 1.5 million World War II veterans were denied access to the middle class in America, and then you act like history doesn't exist, and then we like, yeah, he right. He sure is right. No, he's not right. It go out and read something for one. Stop letting these videos tell you what to think. and what to do. That stuff makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
No, I totally agree. Like guys like him who start getting the pseudo intellectualism, all they do
Mm-hmm.
is it's no different with Nick Cannon, right? You see how he done backed up off that too. He came off,
I know.
he was wearing the crown. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this is my crown, and this is I speak I speak Christianity, but I flow Muslim. It's like, dude, shut up, bro.
Yeah,
You
but he
get
had on
into
Yeah, he was going. He was so
that didn't even
confused.
make no sense. He don't even know what that is.
I know though,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just saying, you get into all this, you start saying stupid stuff that you really don't know about, and there's people that's really been out here who's into it. You get looped in with the wrong people, and now is you want to come off like you on some different wave, like you smarter than everybody and all this stuff. Like man, all them cats. I'm telling you, about 10 years ago, I used to watch all of those Professor Griff videos. I used to watch the Umar Johnson videos, the Tariq Nasheed videos. All these people are doing is just taking Francis Cresswell's talking points and they're bastardizing it to get clout off of it. They don't even
Hey, I
really
know you
know
be
anything
killing
about it.
Umar on Facebook sometimes. Be like, because he be talking crazy though. Umar be talking crazy.
Dude,
It's
the
funny.
problem is, but see, the thing is, bro, and I wish you would come up, Rio. I already know I'm one of, and Deon, you can attest to it. I am one of the biggest people that don't like Black Lives Matter, that organization. Me and Deon have had conversations about it. But what people not about to do though is they're not about to talk about Black Lives Matter and then you're gonna dismiss the people that's actually out here on the grounds and in the
Mm-hmm.
grassroots. Once again, my organization, that's why I say these people, they about to make me go off on my rant, but you internet niggas who just want to talk about what they doing, what they not doing, I'm out here in the trenches. My organization is out here.
Yeah.
I've been to LA. I went to McGurk Park.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I went to Nickerson Gardens, where Kendrick is from, and we out here trying to get these people resources. That's not Black
Hmm.
Lives Matter. So y'all let the D-Rays and all them, and y'all let Candace Owens gas y'all up on the commercial organization. But what y'all not about to do is rip down what everyone been doing, what the interrupters are doing in Chicago. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
So
Dig,
that's the
dig this.
corny part to me.
Let's make a key point here, though. Those people don't care about the organization. They disagree with the notion and the words. That's why they have a rebut to the words. You
Yep.
understand? It's not about the organization. I ain't a part of it. I'm not a part of it. I don't promote people I don't know. But
Man,
they
the crazy,
they
yeah.
don't disagree with the organization because they had to get to know the organization. They disagreed with the three words from the moment they were spoken because
Mm-hmm.
immediately there became a rebut to it. Black Lives Matter. No, all lives matter. It wasn't the organization hadn't even really got off its feet yet. And now look, they probably got some issues. I have no idea. I've never went and promoted the organization. But my point is the people who
And see,
aren't
yeah,
against the organization. They are against the idea of the words. They are against that phrase. And that's different than being against the organization. The beef against the
Oh,
organization
I
came
see what you're
later.
saying.
The beef against the three words came immediately. And if you go back in time and you do your research, you'll see that before the organization made $1 million, before they ever did before anybody bought a house, before any of that existed, people disagreed with the three words. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why the rebut came immediately. So you have to get on your P's and Q's and stop participating in the donkeyism.
facts.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that doesn't. My boy said it doesn't interrupt the grassroots as far as the documentary. It does take a light away from the folks giving time and resources to grassroots organizations. But see, this is my rebut to that. Yes, there's always going to be BS and it's always going to be part of my language, fuckery in this type of work, right? At the same time, though, with Candace Owens and the Blaze and the other people, Breitbart, all those other organizations, the Ben Shapiro cats, the Richard Spencer cats, all they're really doing is just causing distractions. All they're really doing is causing time-wasting troll type stuff. So you wouldn't get us talking about these dumb talking points to take away from the real work that's going on. So now you got to keep defending, because now when you come out with we need to stop black people being treated fairly. Here they come. What about Chicago? What about this? What about that? You know what I'm saying?
What's up with you, cuz?
Right.
What about this stuff? What about this stuff? How about that as a lie? How about if you go on your phone, anybody go on your phone, Google the most dangerous cities in America. Do you realize that Chicago is not in the top 10? If it were really about actually curbing violence and getting things better, why wouldn't you talk about the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 most dangerous cities? Why did you go outside the top 10? Because it's not about that. It's about the gentrification of Chicago. They want to move them people out. So because Chicago is a hustling, bustling, the downtown area, it's money there. So they want to continue to move the Negroes away from there. That's why they tore down certain buildings and moved people out. If it was really about violence, you talk about do y'all know what number 1 or number 2 most dangerous cities in America are? You would think it was Chicago, wouldn't you?
Wasn't it St. Louis?
Right.
Baltimore, St. Louis.
Why don't they say what about St. Louis? Why come nobody ever said what about Gary, Indiana? Huh?
Right. Oh, I know how about Gary.
Why is it always what about Chicago? Because it ain't about saving black lives. That's not the rebut. Because the talking point is leading to that they want to gentrify the city. And anybody not smart enough to see that is tripping.
And my thing too is where I get tired. One of y'all got to mute yourselves. One of the things where I get tired of it is no battle to me is going to be won on the front. I mean, out in the open and out in the media. No battle is going to be won like that. That's why I'm like, I get tired of these cats, because if you look at it, these talking points that he done come up with is no different than what Elijah Muhammad and what Farrakhan has been saying for years. But see, what they did was they acquired their wealth on the low, and they also have a backing behind them to be able to do that. You going out here telling these folks your plan, doing all that. If he was like acquiring stuff on the low, buying stuff, putting these contracts together, cool. You got to be the spook who sat behind the door. But you can't go out. You're not going to win no battle attention horn. And that's just where I get tired of it. That's why I said if he was really about that life, we wouldn't even know he was doing this. He would have been having people on his behalf moving and making moves. But no, he's not that type of guy, because he's not a genius in that aspect. I'm done with my points.
Okay.
When I dig into these things and I listen to people and I realize how much they're actually missing, it's not that you're missing it, it's that you don't want to know. Because normally what happens is if I present someone with information that goes against their narrative, they either ignore it, talk around it, or get mad at it. And I'm like, just evaluate the information, homie. When you give me information I don't agree with, I evaluate it. And guess what? Either I find out that, hey, you taught me something new, or I find out, hey, this is bull crap. But that's not what people do. People get emotional when you challenge their presupposition. That's where we at with it right now. All these cats running around saying they want to know the truth, but you don't really want to know the truth. You want to be confirmed of what you think you already believe. There's a reason why I own books written by the number 1 apologists for Islam, or the number 1 apologist for the comedic science community, or whatever else the case may be, because I want to know the best argument against what I think I already know. And if my argument stands up against the best opposite argument, then I'm pretty solid in my stance. But that's not what people want to do. People want to be confirmed. And that's why algorithms control your life, because you keep going back to the same well over and over. And then that algorithm strengthens and it strengthens and it strengthens. Google, look up videos about catching goldfish. Eventually, you're going to end up with videos about catching great white sharks, because that's the way the algorithm works. And most of the people that I know that's spewing and talking and thinking they're so bright, they only repeating what's done through their filter chamber that's in their digital echo chamber, because the algorithm is controlling what you see and what you hear. That's why I read a lot. That's why my library is big, and it doesn't all come from the same type of material. That's why I'm so strong in what I do believe, because I've seen the opposing best arguments. People are afraid of that.